Welcome to Economic News Today. This is your host, Brandon Vota. Today we'll be talking about the company Areva, who they are, what they do. Also, we'll be going over what kind of dilemma they are facing right now. And finally, we will get into what the solution they are looking at achieving. So to start us off, we're going on the scene with Brandon Vota.
Thank you, Brandon. Areva is a nuclear power company. They have four things they focus on. One is building and maintaining nuclear reactors. The second will be the nuclear cycle. What they do there is they go all the way from mining to disposing of nuclear goods. Also, they build like research ones, different stuff like propulsion for submarines, stuff like that kind of nuclear reactors. And finally, they do power transmission and power distribution. They were founded in 2001 by three major companies merging together. The merge of Framatome, Kogama, and Technotone. Those three companies came together in 2001 and formed one and only Areva. They are a French public multi-international industrial conglomerate. Their share is worth 371.15 euros. Really good. And also they control about 16.7% of the nuclear reactor market, but they also control 40% of the market when it comes to kind of like nuclear fuels and different things like that. They have around 58,760 different employees. Their headquarters right now is in Paris, France, and I mean, their main consumers, if you're looking at that, is probably governments looking to build nuclear reactors. They also sell different things like generators, they replace parts, and even maintain different reactors. So their consumers go all the way from governments down to smaller, as you can see, ranging the gamut. Now back to you at the studio, Brandon.
Right now, the major dilemma they are facing with this is their brand new EPR reactors. These are state-of-the-art superpower, very fuel efficient, and come with a ton of different safety features. These reactors can withstand a jumbo jet being crashed into them. The big problem they're facing right now is the cost of this. Right now, the prototype that's being built is 3 years behind, and it has gone up from 4.1 billion to 7.2 billion. And since they signed a fixed price contract, they are now having to take all this the cost out of their profit. So they're eating it big time, and it's really hurting the company. The main problem this is hurting internal stockholders right now is that they're losing profit. This is also affecting the external stockholders by their sellers. People are trying to buy it. Right now, with this price being so high on these reactors, other countries are looking for cheaper low-end reactors. They don't want state-of-the-art reactors when they can get a low-end reactor for maybe 10 billion less. Also, another problem that they are facing is some countries, because of the high price, are now looking at researching and developing their own different reactors. And now we're going to Brandon to let us know, how does this connect with our reading we've been going through in economics? If we look back at last chapter when we're talking about utility, we'd really see that's tying in with the problem that they're having right now. Their reactor may be very beneficial, but the price is so high. So some companies like China who are looking to maybe buy one of them, the utility is high. But the problem is to buy the second one at that price, the utility has dropped so low that they are maybe only buying one and buying reactors from other places. Some places like India, the utility for even just buying one of those is so high that they've decided to look at alternatives. So with this right here, the company's really got to look at their utility. Is the benefits with this brand new reactor and the happiness of people, the utility someone can get out of it, worth the price that they're offering? Or are they going to go to other places to get something that they'll get a little less utility, but they'll get more utility from multiple ones? Thank you, Brandon. So now for the solution. What they're looking at right now is that they're looking that this new reactor is going to pay off in the long run. Right now, people are unsure about it, and it may look like it's losing money, but they believe in the long run, this is the future of all nuclear reactors and how they'll be built. So in the meantime, they're looking at expanding their company. What they're doing is they're getting involved in other different things, like solar, wind power, and biomass. They're using that to expand their portfolio. Right now, that alternative energy covers they've got about $1 billion revenue from that out of their $58 billion revenue. It's small right now, but they believe in the future they'll be able to get that up to about a third of the revenue coming from this alternative power and alternative different sources. So they're looking very forward into the future at other ways to make a profit while this reactor that they spent the money on in the long run starts making them profit. Right now, they're not worried as well too much because even if they can't sell these reactors, they have different stuff like selling generators, selling parts, maintaining them. Those areas right there, they're looking at expanding, but they don't need to too much because they can sustain by doing all of that stuff and not selling reactors. So when I looked at it, I decided, all right, if I was a CEO, what exactly would I do? I thought about it and said, I'd probably have to do the same thing because logically it makes a lot of sense. Right now, they may be losing money with this, but if they expand into areas they already know that they're making some kind of profit in, they expand in those areas, they can then bring in more profit so their internal stockholders are now gaining money. Also, it works great for their external stockholders because they have a wider range to sell. They can sell to more people. They expanded their different companies, different areas to sell in. They've expanded that right there. So both cases for internal and external, it's a great solution. It may look a little rough and a little sketchy right now, but they know in the long run this is all going to pay off, and it's all going to work out. Now back to you, Brandon, in the studio. Thank you, Brandon, for letting us know about those solutions. See, today we've talked about Areva. We're a nuclear power company that focuses on has their hands in many different things, and their brand new reactor. We looked at the dilemma with their brand new reactor, what's going on, what needs to be done, and also we looked at the solution they're looking at of how to fix that problem. So I hope you've all enjoyed this edition of Economic News Today with your host, once again, Brandon Vota. Good night.